Okay, so Maxwell Anderson had his preliminary hearing now a couple days ago on April 22nd. According to this hearing, the evidence they found in his home concerning the blood was not of Sade Robinson. So now I'm trying to figure out whose was it? Are there more victims or was it his blood? But they said you would have thought that the blood was fresh, the reason why they even tested it. But then it makes me wonder, like, why didn't they rope off his house in the beginning? They didn't do that until after the house was pinked out and they took everything away after that. So my thing is, was the house ever a crime scene? Did they ever rule? I mean, I feel like it should have been a crime scene because she was there and they didn't have everything that they needed. But this is what they're saying, and we are going to listen at this. But whose blood was it, and where did the crime occur? When they walked out of the house, because there was evidence of him getting into her vehicle, they never said that Sade was with him. But if the blood was not in his house, then that leads me to believe that it didn't happen there. And again, whose was it? Could have been his, would have been his residence, but they made it sound like it was in more than one place. I remember hearing that it was like on the going towards down the basement on the wall. It was on the floor and stuff like that. So I just assumed that it was fresh. But they're saying here that Sade is excluded from that. Let's listen.
Maxwell Anderson, he's here in person.
Good afternoon.
Commissioner, to start, I filed an amended criminal complaint. The purpose of that amended criminal complaint was to essentially include a footnote regarding the blood recovered in the residence. The footnote is on page 6, and it just indicates that the preliminary DNA analysis supports the conclusion that there is no support for inclusion of Robinson's DNA in the blood or swabs that have been tested, and in some of those, her DNA has been excluded. But I just wanted to clarify that because it was brought up at the initial appearance, so that's why I included that. Otherwise, I think there was just a couple Scrivener's errors that were corrected. The rest of the information remains unchanged, and there's no additional charges.
So there you hear it. Sade Robinson is being excluded from the blood found at his home. Wow, let me know what y'all think about that. But here's other thoughts that I've had. I remember when they were seen leaving the first restaurant. They said in the documents that when he entered from a different way, west, she came east or something like that, right? But when they left together. So here's what I'm thinking. I don't recall. I know for a fact. And they could have just not released it. But their conversation about going out to eat never mentioned anything about him riding with her. Right? I didn't see that nowhere. But that's what happened. And I feel like he lured her that way. He was able to get in her car because he didn't drive. It sounds as if he arrived some other way, like a Uber or maybe a bus or something. Does he catch the bus all the time? Because he was very familiar with how to jump on that bus to do what he did to her and land back at his house. So is he a guy that goes and catch the bus all the time? And is that why he wanted to go where he worked at? Because it's in his bus route. I wonder. I mean, I didn't look at Google Maps to see the location of where they went versus where he lives, but that's a thought. And so to me, he lured his way in her car if he never mentioned to her that he needed to ride with her. But that's exactly what he did. Now, how did she end up in this house? Maybe that's how he was able to get her inside of the house, because she didn't even know that she was going to have. Let's just say that was kind of sprung on her. She didn't realize that he wasn't driving his own car. So now she is left to take him home, because how is he going to get home? So now that he has her at the house, now it's easier for him to say, hey, come on in for another drink, or let's watch a movie or whatever. That's just giving me that. That's just creepy in itself. You know, I think that's why he did it. That's why he picked his job, because he was familiar with that route. Because to me, it never made sense that he would want to go somewhere that he worked, where people knew him, if he had this plan. But he don't look like a smart guy anyway. And another thing, why does he even have a bond? This is one of the most heinous crimes you can commit. I mean, I would say it's top number one. I mean, it's at the top. What do you think? Where do it rank? 1, 2, what? Definitely in the top 3. So why does he even have a bond? Drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about what I just said, what we just watched. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Make this go viral.